I'm Kevin Klein, City Councillor for Charleswood, Tuxedo, Westwood. By now, you have heard that our motion to put body cameras on all of our general patrol officers in the city of Winnipeg was defeated. And it was defeated at the Assiniboine Community Committee. I waited a few days because I wanted to hear all of the comments that came out from my colleagues and the mayor. The mayor made no comment about it because it's like it never happened. So it doesn't surprise me that our mayor wouldn't talk about it because it's one of those issues that you want to steer away from. But we need to meet these issues head on. We need to have leadership. Councillor Gillingham, who's a member of the mayor's inner circle, EPC, had some comments on why the body cam was this was the wrong time, wrong place. Let's take a look at that.
My final comments is the last number we had when I was chairing the police board, I believe, was between $8 to $10 million in cost. If that cost has changed, A, and B, if body-worn cameras is a priority for the Winnipeg Police Service and the Winnipeg Police Board, they're the ones really to determine how the budget is allocated to ensure public safety and to ensure that policing services are delivered in a manner, right, that meet the needs, values, and expectations of the community, as the legislation says. So really, I believe this is a matter that should go to the police board. I would encourage Councillor Klein to work with Councillor Chambers as the current chair of the board on this matter. So I won't be supporting the motion either for that reason. So all those in favor? Aye. Okay. Opposed? Myself and Councillor Lukes.
You see, now that is the same type of answer that we would get from the mayor, because quite frankly, as an EPC member, all of that information is provided to them on a regular basis. It's a training. They're taught to respond in certain ways. Keep the dialogue consistent. Yeah, it's the problem of the police board. It's up to the police board. They determine the budget. Well, I was chair of the Winnipeg Police Board, and I resigned, which I think is probably the first time that's happened, because of the interference that I believe happens from the public service, and because that's not true. Although we want to tell you that the Winnipeg Police Board has all this authority, they don't. They really don't. Years ago, when Councillor Gillingham said when they looked at it, it was $8 to $10 million. He was the chair of the Winnipeg Police Board at that time, but he didn't put the cameras through. It was taken out of the budget. It was taken out. So when it went back to the police board, in which he was chair, why didn't he put it back in at that time? If it was so, like he's so in favor of it, why didn't he do it at that time? Listen, as a police board chair, I can tell you we have little ability to move around money. And I was questioned by another councillor that we shouldn't be deciding this. Police should be deciding this. No, this is a decision that leaders make. That's why we run for public office, so that we can serve, so that we can make tough decisions and talk about the issues that have to be talked about and implement programs that otherwise wouldn't be implemented if we left it alone or we ignored the problem and just didn't talk about it. So, I was questioned on the amount. I said we should set aside $2 million to implement this. So I want to give you the math and you be the judge. I based that on an article that was done by Post Media. They spoke to the police board chair in North Bay, and they had followed up with Toronto Police Service, who is implementing cameras, as North Bay is going to do. When the Toronto Police Service first started looking at cameras, it cost them, their estimate, was $80 million for everything, right? That's the cameras, that's the programming, the technology, and the space to store all the video. In June of this year, according to what that police board chair told Post Media, that cost went down to around $10 million. The $80 million was the estimate to put cameras on 6,000 police officers. Now it's down to $10 million. So where did I come up with $2 million? We need, let's say 600 cameras for our general patrol officers, the ones that are responding to all the calls. So you take the $10 million for Toronto, this isn't rocket science, divide it by 6,000 officers, you end up with around, it's quick math, $1,700. So let's call it $1,700. We need, let's say 600, like I was saying. And I think that's a little high, but let's say 600. I always like to round up on projections. So if it's 600 at $1,700 an officer, that's about 1 million, maybe 1.1, in between 1 million and 1.1. It's probably 1,020,000, around there. So I projected $2 million, all in. Technology has changed. Competition has increased. So the Calgary Police, a staff sergeant for the Calgary Police told Post Media and CTV News that he truly believed the cameras on all Calgary police officers has in fact helped de-escalate many situations. It's helped de-escalate situations. And then you look at some potential savings. Now, you're not going to save any money, and you know, Councillor Lukes had suggested that maybe the police hand out more tickets to pay for these cameras. I look at efficiencies, not just dollars, right? We have to look at efficiencies and look at dollars as two separate things. So I'm told by some in Calgary and a few in Toronto already that they believe the cameras are saving them time. It's freeing up their time. So let's say, and the number I was given based on data and mathematical averages for officers in Winnipeg, it's a little high. I'm not even going to share that with you because I said no one's going to believe that, and I'd have to go through a math class and bring in somebody who knows calculus. Let's just say we can save 10,000 hours a month, and truly, that's very small with the data I was given. But that's 10,000 hours for police officers to do more community outreach. Right now, they have to write it down. When they interview somebody, there's a lot of note-taking. There's a lot of detail that goes into that. But if you have a body cam that can record that entire conversation, you can move on now to the next thing. You can go walk in the community and talk to people and engage with people. You can do what I just said, the community outreach. Think of that. Think of that as a benefit to body cameras. As elected officials, I believe I took an oath to protect the citizens of Winnipeg to the best of my ability and to protect the staff of the City of Winnipeg, of which are members of the Winnipeg Police Service. Body cameras will do both. It didn't go through. We'll find another way. It's unfortunate, but it's not surprising. Again, it's about leadership and it's about priorities. To say it's about money, to blame it or to point it somewhere else is simply an excuse in politics. We don't need to do that in this case. $2 million. I thought this was a no-brainer. I really did. I thought this was simple. I thought this was going to go through. But I won't give up. I certainly didn't come here to give up, and I'm not going to be bullied by, because they want to ignore my emotions or downplay my emotions, or you get 5 or 6 different people attacking it. Oh no, he went to the wrong place, he did this wrong. Whatever, that's fine. I'm trying to get things done, and I know that when someone comes in and tries to do things, and I know this from my private sector experience as a CEO, if you go into an organization where you try to change and make people accountable, it's tough. It's tough. People push back. And normally it's people at the top that push back, not your colleagues that are actually doing all the work. It's usually the people at the top. So I will continue to push for this and other motions and other concepts to make our city better. If you have any comments, you have any thoughts, questions, anything you want to say about it, please leave a message on social media. I know some will, that won't be very nice. Or you can send me an email at kevinklein.ca. You can also call my office. Even if you don't agree with me, I believe we can be respectful of each other and adults and have our own opinions and have a discussion about it. That's how things get better. Take care.